What's going on? What's up, y'all? We are here about to have one of the best Flyers analysts in the game. My guy, one of my friends here, Jamey Baskow, to talk the new era of the Flyers and what they have been up to.
Hey, what's going on, leader?
What's going on, my man?
Nothing. If I had your money, I'd be retired.
Yo, man, it's an exciting season because Philadelphia sports, it's like everybody's taking their turn, and it seems like it's the Flyers' time. It kind of feels like it with Matvei Michkov, man. He's the real deal, man.
Yeah, he sure is. The guy could skate. They've been waiting for him since Eric Lindros. They haven't had a player like him. So, I mean, he can skate. It's his hands, it's his awareness, it's his hockey IQ, his vision on the ice. The one thing I like is that he likes to take a beating, and Danny Briere noticed that, and he mentioned that yesterday in his press conference, that he likes to take a beating to score goals, to make the right play. And that includes, going to the goal, the goal mouth, in front of the crease there. But, he likes to board battle too and take the hits. So if he's going to take a hit, he's going to make a slick pass. It's somebody's open. And that's where he hits them with the tape-to-tape pass. This is something that the Flyers have been craving, like John Tortorella's been saying. But there's another person that's pretty interesting too, Jet Luchenko. He provides elite speed in the lineup there. And yes, that too. He makes the right plays too, but he infuses speed into the lineup. And that's something that's been a missing element for the Flyers for the past few years, is that they haven't been speedy enough. They were through the first half of the season last year and weren't able to keep up for 82 games. You know how it is with basketball, 82 games, baseball is 162 games. It's a marathon. So you have to be able to keep up. And Jet Luchenko, if he makes the team past his 9-game tryout, he provides speed in the lineup. And that's something that the Flyers have been craving for years. I mean, how many times have you watched a game leader and they said, oh man, this team just looks slow, or man, they just look like snails on the ice or something of that nature. Now with like you said, with Michkov and Luchenko, man, I'm going to tell you, they infuse speed in the lineup, and that's a key element. That's a key element with the power play. They haven't had a player since they traded Jake Voracek on the power play. Jake Voracek was very good with when the puck was on his stick. He was one of the toughest players in the league to take the puck from. And now you infuse that with speed with Michkov and Luchenko. Now you got something. They're going to be tough to take the puck away from.
I'm looking at that's crazy. You go back to you haven't had a player like that since Lindros. Yes, I remember the height.
Oh yeah,
I remember watching. And then you look at how good. Let's talk about Luchenko. He makes the roster like right off. Remember they was questioning their draft pick. You remember how many people was questioning like Luchenko?
Like McNabb,
and look at him. Like he's real fast. He can pass the puck. I mean, he really. It's like he's no effort in how he skates across ice. Like he's really got to talk about him. What's special about Luchenko, really? This him.
I think what's special about him, he's going to draw players to him. So like with his speed, one thing that the opponents are going to try to do is clog the neutral zone. If he hits his first step is amazing. It's one of the best first steps I've seen in a long time for an 18-year-old prospect. I've been scouting prospects for the past 10 years in terms of hockey, and focusing. He has one of the best first steps I've ever seen in terms of an 18-year-old prospect. So I think that is one thing that separates him that's going to separate him from the rest of the pack, from the rest of the prospects for the Flyers. But not only that, with his opponents as well. So what that's going to do, they're going to have to opponents are going to have to get creative to try to shut down his speed. So they're going to try clogging up the neutral zone. But he has, like you said, he's very shifty. And with that, if he's going to draw players to him, somebody's going to be open. So, his vision then takes over. He knows where his teammates are. So you have a Farabee Luchenko line. I look for Joel Farabee to put up some points and possibly goals.
Another one. Yes. Look at this roster. Let's talk this roster. You got Bobby Bryant, Noah Cates, Sean Cartier, Nick, if I'm saying his name right, Deslauriers.
Deslauriers, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's another guy. Joel Farabee, Tyson Forrester is another one.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Morgan Frost. I think they're going to take another leap this year. Garnett Hathaway, Travis Konecny, Scott Lawton, Jet Luchenko, Matvei Michkov, Ryan Polling's another one, first round pick.
Yep.
That's one. He had 11 goals, like he was kind of Owen Tippett, Jamie Drysdale. I'm big on him. I'm big on Jamie Drysdale. The 6th overall pick. This guy's going. They got him in the power plays with some of the guys like Michkov, Eric Johnson, Rasmus Restolian, Travis Sanheim, Nick Sealer. That's a rough guy. We need that. Cam York is another young guy. They don't talk about that's a young guy that's progressing. Igor Zamula is Michkov's friend. So that's the chemistry. And Urson and Fedorov. Fedorov's looking good. He's looking better than he was looking. And Urson, remember when Carter Hart was coming out, Urson was killing down there in the minor, and he was the guy we was like, oh, who is this guy? So this roster, you're hearing that roster, and I'm liking the all around, but what do you like about this roster and what do you don't like?
I like how young they are. Like Tyson Forrester, you mentioned, Morgan Frost, I think is going to produce 70 points this year. I think that with him splitting time down the middle with Owen Tippett and Matvei Michkov, I think there's no reason in the world why Morgan Frost can't produce a 70-point season. With that being said, being that Michkov is so good with his vision and creativity, I can also see Owen Tippett finally getting over that hump and producing 30 goals or more. And that would be a key for him. I think he needs to hit that 30 goal mark this year. Another one that you talked about is Tyson Forrester. He's young, man. He produced 20 goals last year. I see him taking the next step. I see him producing an also 30 goal season this year. He stayed in Vor. He's busted his butt with Joel Farabee, Cam York. You mentioned all these guys, Jamie Drysdale, Oliver Bonk, Jet Luchenko. A lot of them stayed the entire summer to work and train. And I think it's going to pay off. And that's something that Torts loves is players that stay the entire off season. Joel Farabee did it too. And that's why I think he's going to have a big year. I really, this roster is going to be a little better than what people predict. I really see them, yes, but I see them taking this leap to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I'm thinking 7-8 seed. I'm just trying not to be so.
Yeah, that's right. I agree. Right.
But last year, people were saying, when they was starting over the rebuild, I was like, but this team's not that bad. It's not bad as people think. And they almost made the playoffs, So I wanted to ask you about the guys. You were just talking about Bonk and you was talking about Barkey, because I think when they come up, Barkey and Bonk come up, it's going to be a different lineup. This is different. I love Barkey. Looking at, and then it's another one. They have the two goalies. They got three. You got Carson. If I'm saying names right. You know what I'm talking about, Carson.
Carson Bjornsson.
The one guy, Alexei, he came over.
Kolosov.
Yeah. So they got three guys really there. So you're looking at Urson. So you think that's gonna push them to be like, okay, I better be good, because these guys, are they that good? Are these three goalies that good?
To be honest with you, Leader, that's the only aspect that I'm concerned about the most is the goaltending situation. I'm concerned because one, Urson has to be good for say 35 games this year, 35 to 40 games. I think he'll play at least near half of them. So 35, 40 games. I think he knows what to expect now. He faltered later down the stretch there towards the latter parts of the season with the last 8 or 9 games there. But I think that you take that away and he's learned a lot, but I'm still questioning if he could be that goaltender that he was before the last 8 or 9 games. Can he replicate that season again? That's going to be kind of tough for him to do. If he does, I think the Flyers are in for a good year. If not, I think that they could honestly miss the playoffs because, you mentioned, Ivan Fedotov, he's been playing well in his preseason, contrary to popular belief. Depending on who you talk to, some people say he's playing bad. Some people say, I don't know. I see a guy, that's getting his, footwork done and he's making, 12, 13, 14 saves and only giving up a goal or two. That's really not that bad. I mean, you get that type of outing and you're only giving up, 2 or 3 goals. I think that's very good for a backup netminder, in my opinion, in today's day NHL. for starting. If he's going to start a game and only giving up 2 or 3 goals, the name of the game now is speed. So you're seeing faster teams. What does that create? Creates more offense. So if your backup netminder is only giving you 2 or 3 goals, only allowing 2 or 3 goals, to be honest with you, I think that keeps the team in it to steal the game possibly. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's not going to give you that quality start, that number 1 netminder start, or else he would be the number 1. But, only allowing 2 or 3 goals, I think you're working into something. So you mentioned all these goaltenders. Yeah, Kolosov, I think you see some time in the NHL, depending if Fedotov starts to falter there.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good one you mentioned. Bjarnason, he's going to take more time. And there's a guy, Igor Zavergan. He's a pretty good prospect. He's in Russia. He comes over next year. He might come over next year. If he comes over next year, man, that team's really going to be something. It could possibly be even better than what it is today. But yeah, there's a lot of things to be excited about, and that's what I'm happy about for this fan base. They were craving this, and it's finally time to see them get excited. So they deserve it.
Finally time. It seemed aggressive. There's 2 things I want to talk about. One, let's talk about the fighting. Sean Cartier, when Michkov, he let it be known. Listen, this is the bread and butter. You he came right over there. I said, now that's old Flyer hockey. That's old Flyer hockey. Got to get rough. And then it's one guy who didn't make it. I'm real surprised. Hunter McDonald. They real big on him. He a physical boy, big, beat you up.
Yeah.
I'm why you think he was sent back down? Him particularly.
I think so. John Tortorella hinted on some of these guys, and he said some of the defense underperformed. And I think that Hunter McDonald's a shame because he stayed there the entire summer. They gave him every single opportunity to try to win a spot, and he didn't blow the doors off training camp. So he was sent back, rightfully so. He definitely, didn't have the best camp. He just looked a little sluggish. In preseason. I wonder if all that work he put in was too much for him this year. Sometimes they overwork themselves in temptations for what's lying ahead, and sometimes it backfires. And I think that was one of those things. I wouldn't be too headstrong on that. I could see him getting some time in case of an injury or something that arises. The organization is still very high on him, so I think he'll be fine. And Sean Couturier, it's nice to see that spice back in the lineup with him. And that to me just proves that he's 100% healthy.
You think they're better this year defensemen than last year?
Yes. Yeah, I think that overall, I think that the team knows what Torts wants now and what Bradshaw wants, exactly what he wants. Jamie Drysdale now knows the Flyers organization well. I think Cam York and Travis Sanheim having another year together, I think is going to, do them due diligence there. I think Rasmus Ristolainen has looked phenomenal. He had a phenomenal camp, looked phenomenal in the preseason. I think that he adds another element there in terms of hitting and in terms of, just being there. He has a rocket from the point if he's able to hit. But, Nick Sealer's he's a block horse. He just, that's all he does is block shots. He may or may not play on Friday. If he doesn't, it's okay. Igor Zamula comes in and he'll play well.
I wanted, before we get out of here, it's just 3 things now. It's one thing about hockey, right? And it's only been one player who made it marketable. It's only been, to me, I'm talking about he was like Michael Jordan of hockey. Wayne Gretzky, when he was playing, everybody attracted to Wayne Gretzky. He was even the cartoon with Michael Jordan and Bo Jackson, back in the day. So I think that now play-wise, I've never seen nobody where I thought, but play-wise, Matvei Michkov. I'm just saying, just look at how he plays. Skates, he can do everything. I mean, what he's done in the preseason, the shots he was making, the passes he was making, I was like, he made me real excited. I said, this guy is, oh my God. I ain't never really been excited like Matvei Michkov. He's good. And then I wanted to ask you, if we going on players, the three players who you think the best players will end up being the best players this season for the Flyers.
3 players, I think Morgan Frost, I think is one. I think that, I really do. I think Morgan Frost is going to take the next step. Travis Konechny and Tyson Forrester. I think that's your 3 right there. And Joel Farabee and Michkov aren't too far behind. Morgan
Frost is one guy. You know what? To have Farabee and Frost and then Forster. Like, I don't think people realize. And then Ryan Poling, I keep saying this guy. Listen,
yeah. He's a bruiser. He's a good filling guy for the bottom six. He provides another element that, hey, this is our checking line, and here's Poling. So you can't take your eyes off him, or else he'll pop that big goal. Like you said, he had 11 goals last year. For a bottom sixer, that's really, really good.
So what's your record? What's your finish for the Flyers?
I think the Flyers they'll finish with anywhere from 87 to 88 points, maybe 89, and I think they'll get the 7th or 8th seed. If they need the 7th seed, I think they'll have to crack 90, but I think they could at least get the 8. With 89 points, that should secure them as the 8th seed. I think that that's your marker. I think the Flyers marker this year is at least 90 points. That's what they want to hit. I think that's what they want, and that could bring them in wild card 1. And I think that would be a really good year for the Flyers there. I'm not going to go too high in terms of saying, yes, they'll become a contender today. They will be a contender in the future, but Michkov adds an element for sure.
I agree. I totally agree, man. Listen, always great talking with you, man.
Yeah, leader, your man.
Your family, your kids, man. Go do your thing, my man. Talk to you later, my man.
Take care, man. You take care. Thanks for having me on for your great fan base. You guys do good work, and congratulations on all the success that you've had.
Thank you, my man. Thank you very much, my man.
All right, guys. Take care.
Yo, we out of here, man. High Level Sports Talk. That was Jamey Baskow, part 2 of 2, man. We had to get the Flyers analyst in. I'm telling you, y'all heard it. The man's one of the best. He's one of the best, man. When you hear him talk, he's one of the best. When Jamey Baskow, Flyers Nitty Gritty, go follow Nitty Gritty on Twitter. Go follow Jamey Baskow. Read Flyers Nitty Gritty. Them guys is it. Jamey Baskow, the man. I'm out of here, man. Leader Johnson, I'm out. High Level Sports Talk.